I'm going to introduce this company. I'm going to open up a PowerPoint presentation. Just to give you a little bit of a background of our company, iMatte. We've been around the past 4 decades in the television and film broadcasting world. We've been the leaders in green screen compositing technology. We have a very good history that we're proud of, including various awards like Oscars and Emmys. Another achievement we have is the ability to bring objects out in front of us in real time just through PowerPoint presentations. You'll notice on those large monitors that this video is much higher quality because we're taking the first generation background and myself and we're compositing them in real time. So the creators of this amazing technology are standing in front of me here today. They're responsible for iMatte, which we're exhibiting today, as well as SightDeck. Also, a lot of these products that you're going to see come out behind me here. iMatte 11, SightDeck, the iMatte Knockout. Some of these things are hardware and software components used in that television and film industry. One thing we realized while working in that type of world is that it takes a special type of person to perform effectively in this environment. It takes an actor. If you bring me into this environment, or a professor, even a CEO of a company, they wouldn't have as successful of a performance as I would presenting to my audience members. So we don't want to deal with high ceilings or excessive lights and a camera crew. We want to get rid of those obstacles and go to a more comfortable environment. So let's take a walk into that environment and see what we need for a SightDeck room, where us real presenters can perform and not need to be an actor. So you see here, right off the bat, we have a SightDeck screen. You see that here in the room behind me. On the other side of this room, you'll see a projector. And mounted under that projector is a camera that we manufacture out in Los Angeles. Under that monitor that I'm waving to there is a server. Those are the 3 components of SightDeck. So the screen, camera, and server. That's why we're able to all sit here comfortably without having to take over the entirety of a room, yet still get this high-quality graphic as a result. You notice that I did say that this is a front projected image. Normally, if a presenter is presenting in a front projected image, they'd be blinded by the light. They'd have graphics shining over them. They'd have to stand off to the side and present with a laser pointer or wiggling their mouse. So we wanted to find a way to bring a presenter into their presentation. So in a SightDeck room, we ask for the presenter and their audience to really capture a good performance. I mentioned before that this is a PowerPoint presentation. It's just from my computer over here. It could be any type of application I'd like. So it could be Google Earth, it could be a website. We have no preference. So I actually have a reminder here that you could see on my screen that I'm referring to. But notice that this information, just like my toolbar here that you might have noticed, is not showing up on that output. So you notice I have notes on the screen that I'm able to refer to. So the people receiving this video have no idea that I'm actually just tracing over these graphics, making myself appear a lot smarter than I actually am, and making you think that I actually know something about whatever this graph is. So other applications that we could have a great interaction with, we could go into Google Earth, for example. So not only is this a display for me to refer to, but you may have noticed when I was going through my PowerPoint slides, I was touching the screen. Anything that you could do with a mouse or a cursor on your computer, you can do just by touching the screen. It's a fully interactive touch screen. So when I was highlighting over the graph or annotating over the graph, you could write over things with precision. If there's some text that you want to highlight over, you could do that. We have some predetermined shapes at our disposal. So we could do arrows, circles, squares. The key is to give the power to the presenter. They have control of their presentation. If you don't want the power as a presenter and you want more focus on the graphics, say you're playing a video or you want to analyze something and not be in the way, I could just touch the screen here and fade off. I still have those controls I was using before. I could still play and pause a video, but when I'm ready to give my evaluation, I come back on and I'm able to point, utilize some of my SightDeck tools, and give an effective presentation because I'm in this presentation. Another thing that I am able to do, sorry to put you on the spot over there, but I'm going to ask you to stay right there. We're able to bring in a remote environment. So we've talked about how great of an experience this is for me as a presenter. I can interact with my audience. They see this image, I see this image. But the real beauty is this image that we're seeing up here, the video that we create. So how do we share that with people that are not in the room with us? Well, through simple video conferencing, I'm bringing up their video feed straight to my screen right here. So say they have a question on some kind of graphics that we have up here, something that I'm interacting with. I see that they have a question on this. So I say, okay, what's your question? Does it happen to be on those graphics that we had up? So I'm going to ask Paul. To help me out. Actually, gentlemen, yes, thank you. So just by pointing in space, you see how interactive this is. Because he could see himself on his end. All he needs is an internet connection and a webcam and a way to see this system, just like you're seeing here. But now he sees himself inside the presentation with me. We're now co-presenting. And because I can see where he's pointing, we're able to have that precise interaction that I was mentioning. And then this is my background still, so I still have the ability to manipulate this. But you see how we're able to keep those important details of this. The smart guys that I showed you earlier that are created this product, they've created algorithms that keep the important detail. And even though after I adjust the transparency, we still see those important edges that we need to keep. Thank you, Paul. So that's a great way for us to interact with someone at a remote location that may not have a SightDeck location like myself, able to interact with the graphics. But what if we have another SightDeck? We happen to have another SightDeck in Los Angeles where we manufacture this product. So I'm going to ask Mike to join me on screen, actually, and see what type of presentation we can deliver together to the immediate audience and possibly his audience that he might have at his SightDeck location. So Mike, if you don't mind joining me on screen. So Mike, here, I'm doing fantastic. So what are you seeing on your end?
Well, so I've got a screen here with a skeleton on it, which is just your desktop. I can see everything on the screen. There's bars. I can see your launcher down there, and I can see you projected on my screen.
That's right.
Obviously, since I have a SightDeck, I can also manipulate and work with my environment. I can draw lines on it. I can rotate things. I can select different applications. All that stuff that you can do, I can do. Even though I'm in LA,
Excellent.
You're in Orlando, it doesn't matter. It's like we're in the same place.
Absolutely. So if I wanted to access that application again, I can. It's very important. Something that's missing in a lot of existing applications and programs is that body language aspect. A lot of times you see the square in the corner, a talking head, someone trying to tell you or tell you exactly where to do something. They say, no, a little to the left, a little to the right. But because we see each other, we have each other's body language, he sees me, we cross over. We're able to work on this same platform. We're able to work on this same platform without impeding each other's paths. Once again,
actually might be better than if we were in the same room because we're not going to run into each other or crash into each other.
Exactly. And if someone at a remote location wanted to join us like we had earlier, Mike can see everything that's on my screen. So I could pull up James at a remote location, and now Mike could see him, and we could all interact together, present together. So this is one of the most important, the biggest eye-openers we've seen from our audience today at the show. A great way for remote locations to connect, collaborate, present together effectively to their immediate audience and to the audiences that this video where you could see either a recording or a stream video to them live. So I'm going to ask Mike, thank you very much. All right, bye Mike. I want to show one more thing. We actually have more than one more thing that we could probably show you, but I want to end off on one thing. James, do you mind showing Magic Lectern with me? Now, I do have James here helping me at times because we're switching in and out of modes, but usually a presenter should be able to walk in, hit a record like I just did earlier, and come out with a video the day of without needing much support. So we've talked to a lot of professors that have been using SightDeck, and they say, well, I'm used to presenting with a lectern. I don't know if I feel comfortable stepping in front of my graphics. So we wanted to work with them You'll notice I have this physical lectern with me here in the room, but it's not showing up on the output. I might have my laptop there, type in my notes, or if I want to type something in on my background, I can do so. But notice when I walk behind it, it automatically appears for me. I could type in what I need to type in, look at the notes I need to look at, and when I want to utilize some SightDeck tools and point to something or reference something, I can do so, and that just disappeared. So it's not blocking the data that was on that side of the screen either. So I'm going to go ahead and walk back behind it, and automatically this reappears for me. So this is one of our features we're very excited about. We're gearing a lot of these things towards the psychology of performance. We're happy to take any suggestions or new ideas, because we're coming up with them every day. But just as you saw us connect through video conferencing with James and Paul earlier, if you want to see this demo again, you could connect with us through video conferencing, and we'd be sending you this high-quality feed, and we could also show you the type of environment we're in, like you're seeing right now. You could also find out some more information by visiting our website. I'm in the pen tool here. By visiting our website at iMatte.com, or visiting us on Twitter, YouTube. We're coming up with new videos almost weekly now. Find out more information. You could find our hashtag SightDeck. But we're looking forward to hearing from your responses. Have a great day, everyone.